Dennis, and I'm a bridge for people of the old world coming to the new world, specifically people that are going through things, and and with me today is...
Hi, my name is Neil. I am a multi-dimensional spiritual being that's expressing through a human vessel. I assist conscious people in their 20s exit the matrix and be with their soul family. I'm a coach, and if you would like to reach out, my Snapchat's in the description. And in this video, you'll learn the 6 aspects to effectively create and distinguish channels. So number 1 with channels is having form and having structure. So what a channel is it's a structure that allows for flow to move. And with the form and the structure, you can imagine a river, and the banks of the river are the form that is allowing the flow to move. So number 1 with channels is having a form and having a structure.
Another example would be electricity, and the electricity would be the feminine, which is chaotic and emotion by nature. I'm not saying chaotic as a bad thing, it's actually a beautiful thing. And the electricity goes into the light bulb, which is the masculine, and then the masculine is the channel for the electricity to flow into, and it provides form to the electricity. So that's another example.
So number 2 is, you kind of spoke to it already, Dennis, about how it's directing the feminine energy. So a channel is inherently a masculine quality, and masculine is not a man. Masculine is an energetic that exists in both males and in females. And as we're becoming independent beings, either a man or a woman, we require the development of channels, some kind of structure, some kind of form in our lives to reach independence. Because we start off being codependent, and we're like as a baby, we're codependent on our parent. We actually need their support, and we depend on their channels, we depend on their structure for us to thrive. But as we develop our independence, we, man and woman, so both here, begin to develop channels for us to thrive.
And on that note, everyone has feminine and masculine qualities. So when you get up in the morning, or for example, if I get up in the morning and I have this inspiration, the inspiration is the feminine. And so if I plan out my day and I use this notepad and I label like 5 things that I'm going to do, that now is the masculine quality of the channel that my inspiration can flow into, the inspiration being the feminine.
Do you want to say more about the masculine quality?
No, I feel complete.
Okay. So number 3 is knowing where you stand, and not only where you stand, but where you're going and what you're creating. So with the channel, the channel is specifically designed to accomplish a goal, and so with knowing where you stand, like having the purpose of a channel, you've got to actually have a goal. And in order to have a goal, you've got to know where you are and where you're standing. currently in the now, but from the now also know where you're going. And then from the context of where you're going and what the goal is, the channel gets created to move you in the direction of the goal. What are you feeling, Dennis?
That was beautifully distinguished. Like, I really don't have anything to add. That was, yes.
I do have another piece. So with knowing where you stand, you also know where you don't stand. So if you have a goal, that's your yes. So then you have a no to everything that isn't working in harmony and working congruently and gracefully in the accomplishment of that goal. So with knowing where I stand, I also know where I don't stand. And by knowing where I stand and where I'm going, I'll say no to anything that is incongruent with where I'm standing and where I'm going. And by saying no to those things, I'm saying yes to where I'm standing, and I'm saying yes to purpose, and I'm saying yes to the goal. So number 4 is a channel is an act of a creator. And this literally ties into number 3 with creating a channel is an act of a creator, of a conscious creator. So when we're unconscious, we often use other people's channels, which in this case I'm calling codependency. And we tell our parents, hey, think for me and tell me what to do and when to do it, which is using their channel. Or we say to our friends, where would you like to eat? And then they say, and then we go with them, and then that's using their channel. Or we ask the government, hey, govern my mind. That way I don't need to think. And then the government says, with pleasure. And that's codependent. That's being dependent on the government. That's being dependent on your friend. That's being dependent on your parent. And so with channels as an act of a creator, we've got to get from being codependent to starting to become independent, to where now that I'm independent, I actually know where I stand and I know where I'm going. And as an independent being, I can now implement structure, the channel, I can implement form, and actually move in the direction of the goal. Do you want to say more on it being an act of a creator?
I feel inspired to share, and this is kind of taking it from a different context, but it's on the micro level, it would be looking at yourself and doing that on a personal level. And also, I want to speak to, just for a brief moment, on the macro level, on like what's going on globally and this new, just the chaos that's supposedly going on in the world. And what Neil just spoke to is a recipe, and what we've been speaking to, like throughout all this time that we've been here, is a recipe not only for yourself but for the collective humanity to create a world of peace, love, and joy. So I just want to put that in there.
And now, if you would like to experience a world of hell and mayhem and codependency and sexual immorality and somebody else governing your mind, and if you would like to experience all of those things, you definitely don't want to implement anything we've spoken about in this video. And you actually, if you would like to experience that, what you would like to implement is being like codependent and you just want to if you want to experience like full-on hell on earth and codependency and disconnection from yourself and from other people, what you want to do is like the opposite of what we're speaking here. And you'll want to like ask the government just to govern your mind and just be sure and listen to everything they say and don't think for yourself and that's a perfect recipe to experience hell on earth. And so if you would like to experience hell on earth, definitely don't implement what we've been talking about because channels and being independent and actually being sovereign and thinking for yourself is the creation of heaven on earth, and it's the creation of your wildest goals and dreams become manifest.
And actually, I just want to add something to that. If you want to experience hell on earth and you do not want to be a conscious creator, you absolutely do not have to do anything. You can just be a drifter throughout life. You can do nothing, and you will get that because that's the direction that the collective humanity is moving in. That's the choice they're making at the moment. So if you don't want to experience peace, love, and joy, you don't have to do anything. Just be like a ship at sea without a rudder, letting the winds blow you to and fro, being cast on into the hurricanes and the tsunamis and whatever comes to you. Like that's the collective direction of humanity. And what Neil's been sharing with you here is a recipe for you to come to the new earth, a new earth of peace, love, joy, inspiration, co-creation, and all the beautiful fruits of the Spirit.
And it also is a new way of being. And there's a donation link in the description. So if you want to make a donation to Earthwaking Village, that'll be a contribution to this channel, to Dennis, to Neil, as well as when we donate, we tune ourselves to abundance. Because when we're just like in this getting mindset where we just need to get all the time, we're in a lack mindset. But when we start to give, we tune ourselves to an abundance mindset. We start perceiving that we have more than enough. And so there's a donation link in the description. I invite you to donate. It can be $1, it can be $10,000. This is available, and with channels, this isn't a conduit. This is a structure for a new way of being in your everyday experience, and it's a way of being independent. It's a way of being of thinking for yourself. It's a way of being of creation, of being a conscious co-creator of your reality as well as the collective reality, which takes us to number 5. And a channel is a world in language that someone else can step into and create something from the words that we express. So imagine communicating with another person, and during this communication you speak and you communicate in such a way that when this other person hears your communication, what they hear is exactly a perfect match for the emotion you were feeling. It's exactly a perfect match for what you intended for them to hear, and what they hear is exactly a perfect match to your intention of communicating in the first place. This is a channel. This is a world in language. And with this world in language, I can create a channel right now that is a channel that someone can step into. They can contribute. They can create from the world in language that I'm articulating and speaking to. And that's exactly what a channel is. You can use your words to create guidelines, to create form, to bring structure to where the feminine flow can, now that you've spoken this thing, can flow and create from the world the form that you've created with your words.
And what that would not look like is if I was, and beautiful articulation, what that would not look like is if I was like, hey, Neil, go do that fucking thing right there. And like the energy and it would be coming from a place of force, a place of ego, and not from a place of love. So there's an important distinction between, am I creating this world of language from a place of love, or am I creating this world of language from a place of ego? Is it for co-creation? Is it for the we, or is it for the I? So I just wanted to put that in there as well.
And both are channels, but they produce different fruits. One of them is the ego channel, which produces fruits of control and manipulation. The other one is a soul channel. It's a God channel that produces fruits of co-creation and community and purpose. And then number 6 is channels are not boxes. Boxes are like the Dead Sea. They're stagnant. And when you say, all right, this is my box, or this is what I do, this is my title. You could perceive a title as being a box. With this title, with this box, is the Dead Sea. There's no movement. So a channel is not a box. And what a channel is it's a direction. It's essentially a hose, a water hose, that's directing the water to where the flow can move through the form. And a channel is it has an opening at the beginning and at the end of the channel, which is where the flow moves through. And this is not always, because in the form of electricity, there's only an opening at the beginning, and then the electricity comes into a bulb, which is perfectly tuned to maintain the electricity to produce light. So it doesn't always have an opening at the beginning and at the end of the channel, but most times it does. And a channel is a direction of the feminine, of the flow. It's directing flow using form and structure to direct it.
So I am just gonna, are you complete with number
Yes.
6? I'm gonna create a channel right now, and that way you can actually step into this world of language with me and Neil. So we live in a community with 20 other people, and it's beautiful out here at the moment. It's raining, and the view is absolutely majestic. And so this is an invitation for you, the listener, and for you, Neil. We have these pineapples in the kitchen that get cut every day, and once per week we can replant these pineapple heads. And what that would look like is you will take them up to the place where we have the pineapple garden, and you can do this any time of the day. What I would encourage you to do is plant them in the morning or before lunchtime. And the reason for that is because it gets really, really hot around lunchtime. And so, and in the morning the birds are out, the sun's coming up, it's cooler, and you can really get this majestic view of the clouds coming in through the valley and hear the birds singing and the butterflies are active. And what that would require is you take possibly a pair of gloves, not required, and but you may want a pair of shoes because of the ants. So once a week you'll take all these pineapple tops and you'll you'll take the bottom half inch of all the pineapple tops and you'll peel them off. We'll make a little hole, put a little rock dust in it, and you will what do we got here? Jesse. And so you'll make a little hole and you'll put them into put it in the soil and just put the dirt around it and boom. Uh, so that is a channel. That was a world and language that you could step into. You could come to Earthwaking Village, and that's a channel that you could step into and create this beautiful pineapple garden of abundance for the community. So
Yeah, and that's perfect because I can now choose to flow into that channel, or I can create my own channel that incorporates his channel. So I could maybe have some other tasks and then incorporate that into my channel. Um, and so a channel is a direction, it's a form and a structure to accomplish a goal, and I can choose to use it or not. And how I choose to navigate the channel is going to have a direct impact on if the goal is accomplished or if it's not. And one more last example of a channel I want to give is making a daily list of tasks. And this can look like waking up and number one, so you could even number them. So you could write number one, smile. Number two, dance. Number three, affirmations. Number four, exercise. Number five, eat breakfast. And included in your channel, you can have time for yourself. So you could, after breakfast, you can write number six, meditate. And number seven, plant pineapples, which is now me including Dennis's channel into my channel. Number seven could be watering plants. Number eight could be reading a book for like 1 hour. And here's another, you can even take it deeper, where you can then even put time frames on the aspects of the list of the channel to where you can precisely utilize every second of your entire day to move you in the direction of a set goal or a task or whatever the thing is that you're choosing to accomplish. So that feels complete. Do you have anything you want to add, Dennis?
yeah, so I just want to add to make sure that you like the video, you subscribe, and you share the video if you got value. And I just want to second what Neil said earlier. The donations that you give in the link below in the description all go towards building this new earth and creating this amazing heaven on earth where there's harmony, balance, co-creation, inspiration, peace, joy, love, faith. And also, if you have any interest in visiting the new earth, message us on YouTube or just reach out on one of our profiles and we'll send you an application and you can come check us out. We're developing another 50 acres here where we're going to have another 4 or 5 villages on that property. So this is your invitation. And as the world crumbles, we're literally every day, we're witnessing miracles. We're co-creating this amazing new reality, this amazing new way of being. And so that's the only thing that I'm complete.
Amazing. As that world crumbles, this world is being built. I love you. Thank you for being here. Remember to stay infinitely blessed. Peace.